Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. If you happen to be reading this Quran, please note that many times the verses are written in Old English, and we have to have a little bit of knowledge of Old English, the Shakespear English, and to understand some of them. Let's take this surah, for example, this chapter called As-Su'ara, the Poets, chapter number 26. Let's try to read from the beginning. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Verse number 1 is Ta Sin Mim. These are messages of the divine writ, clear in itself and clearly showing the truth. Would you perhaps torment yourself to death with grief because they who live around you refuse to believe in it, in the message? Had we so willed, we could have sent down to them a message from the skies, so that their necks would be forced to bow down before it in humility. But we have not willed it, and so whenever there comes unto them any fresh reminder from the most gracious, they who are blind of heart always turn their backs upon it. Thus indeed have they given the lie to this message as well. But in time they will come to understand what it was that they were want to deride. A bit difficult, isn't it? Let's go. Have they then never considered the earth, how much of every noble kind of life we have caused to grow thereon? In this, behold, there is a message unto men, even though most of them will not believe in it. But verily, your sustainer, he alone is Almighty, a dispenser of grace. And may I add that he is Allah. Hence, remember how it was when your sustainer summoned Moses and said, Go unto those evil-doing people, the people of Pharaoh, the Pharaoh, who refused to be conscious of me. Moses answered, O my sustainer, behold, I fear that they will give me the lie, and then my breast will be straitened and my tongue will not be free. Send then this your command to Aaron, my brother. Moreover, they keep a grave charge pending against me, and I fear that they will slay me. May I note that Moses used to stay with Pharaoh in the palace of Egypt, and accidentally Moses killed one of the Egyptian. This is now the charge. Allah said, Not so, indeed. Go forth then, both of you, with our messages. Verily, we shall be with you, listening to your call. And go, both of you, to Pharaoh and say, Behold, we bear a message from the sustainer of all of the worlds. Let the children of Israel go with us. That means Allah has appointed Moses and Aaron as assistant, the brother of Moses, to assist Moses. But when Moses had delivered his message, Pharaoh said, Did we not bring you up among us when you were a child? And did you not spend among us years of your little life? And yet you did commit that heinous deed of yours, and has thus shown that you are one of the ingrate. That means that Moses has killed an Egyptian. Moses replied, I committed it while I was still going astray, and I fled from you because I fear you. But since then my sustainer has endowed me with the ability to judge between right and wrong, and has made me one of his message bearers. And as for that favor of which you so tauntingly reminding me, was it not due to your having enslaved the children of Israel? Said Pharaoh, and who is that sustainer of all the worlds? Moses answered, He is Allah, the sustainer of the heavens and the earth, and all that is between them. If you would but allow yourself to be convinced. Said Pharaoh unto those around him, his men, did you hear what he said? And Moses continued, Allah, the God, He is your sustainer, as well as the sustainer of your forefathers of old. Pharaoh exclaimed, Behold, this your apostle who claims that he has been sent unto you is mad indeed. But Moses went on, He of whom I speak is the sustainer of the east and the west, and of all that is between the two, as you would know if you would but use your reason. Said Pharaoh, Indeed, if you choose to worship any deity other than me, I shall most certainly throw you into prison. Said Moses, throw me into prison, even if I should bring about before you something that clearly shows the truth? Pharaoh answered, Produce it then, if you are a man of truth. Thereupon Moses threw down his staff, and lo, it was a serpent, plainly visible. And he drew forth his hand, and lo, it appeared shining white to the beholders. Said Pharaoh unto the great ones around him, his leaders, his minister, Verily, this is indeed a sorcerer of great knowledge, who wants to drive you out of your hand by his sorcery. What then do you advise? They answered, Let him and his brother wait a while, and send unto all city heralds who shall assemble before you all sorcerers of great knowledge. And so the sorcerers were assembled at a set time on a certain day, and the people were asked, Are you all present, so that we might follow in the footsteps of the sorcerers, if it is they who prevail? Now, when the sorcerers came, they said unto the Pharaoh, Verily we should to have a great reward, if it is we who prevail, that means who win. Answered he, the Pharaoh answered, Yea, and verily, in that case you shall be among those who are near unto me. And Moses said unto them, Throw whatever you are going to throw. Thereupon they threw their magic ropes and their staff, and said, By Pharaoh's might, behold, it is we indeed who have prevailed. But when Moses threw his staff, and lo, it swallows up all their deception, all their ropes, all their snakes. And down fell the sorcerer, prostrating themselves in adoration, and exclaimed, We have come to believe in the sustainer of the worlds, the sustainer of Moses and Aaron.